Good afternoon. It's another sweltering day in the city with a heat warning still in effect.
Relief could soon be in sight, but not until we get through at least one more full day of very hot weather. CTV's Janice Golding is out in the heat today and joins us now live. Janice, another warm one out there.
Oh, I'd say it's more than warm, Natalie. It is another scorcher outside today, and that's why we are standing in the shade. The sun is very, very hot. We're live right now outside the Fairbank outdoor pool at Dufferin and Eglinton, and you may be able to see behind us here. Some people have been waiting about an hour to get into that nice, cool water when Leisure Swim opens, which is at noon today. Now, we are in the dog days of summer. Hot, humid weather that's hard on both man and beast. Toronto and much of the GTA under another heat warning for the 5th time this year. And that warning has been extended until tomorrow evening, with daytime temperatures expected to get close to 31 degrees Celsius, and it's going to feel more like 37 with the humidity. This year, Toronto has had 23 days with temperatures that have soared to 30 degrees or above. To give you some context, last year we had just 10. Now, nighttime lows are expected to be between 19 and 21 degrees, which Environment Canada says will provide very little relief from the heat. Here is what people have to say about this latest spate of hot weather.
It's not warm. It's like, I can't explain this heat. It's not like the Caribbean heat. It's a difference, right?
It's intense.
It's really intense. It's hard on the body, right?
How much are you enjoying the weather?
Not that good.
No, too hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, you looking forward to taking a swim?
Yeah.
Well, it is a little bit hot. It's humid out here, but we're making it work.
Oh, I'm loving the heat. I love it. I don't like the winter, so I love the heat.
Now, a reminder, early signs of heat exhaustion include nausea, headache, dizziness, extreme thirst, and dark urine. So if you experience any of those symptoms, you're advised to head indoors immediately and drink plenty of water. Reporting live, I'm Janice Golding. Now back to you, Nathan.
Thank you, Janice. Still to come this hour, a story that's one of our most read by far online. A photographer bought an expensive camera lens from a website, but there was just junk in the box when it arrived at the door. CTV's Pat Foran will have that story.
More news in a moment, but first, here's a live look out at the city this afternoon. There is a bit of cloud cover at this hour, but of course, it is still very hot. Lindsay Morrison is here with a look at the current conditions. Lindsay.
Yeah, Natalie, another scorcher. As Janice said, it is so humid out there. The air is very stagnant. It's stale. You feel like you could scoop it up with a shovel. Right now, it is 28 degrees, feeling like 34. That's at Pearson Airport. You'll find that it's a degree or two cooler by the water, 26 degrees, for example, on the Toronto Islands. Winds today are light, so we're not getting much in the way of a breeze offering relief. Those gusts coming out of the south. And yes, there has been a little more cloud today compared to yesterday, but we're still anticipating that it will be mainly sunny this afternoon. 31 degrees for the high, will feel like 37. And yes, we remain under this heat warning. It has come to an end for a few communities north of here, and it looks as though this is now going to stay in place until tomorrow evening. After that, a dramatic cool down. We'll tell you all about it coming up. For now, Nathan, over to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. In New York City, 4 people were killed in a mass shooting before the gunman turned the gun on himself. Bullet holes riddle the Manhattan office tower where the shooting took place, attesting to the violence that unfolded just before 6:30 last night. 4 people, including a New York City police officer, were killed when a man armed with an M4 rifle opened fire inside the building. The building houses the headquarters of the National Football League and a number of other businesses.
The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately open fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar and proceeds through the lobby, spraying it with gunfire.
The gunman then made his way to the elevator, shooting 2 more people, and then shot and killed 1 more person on the 33rd floor before taking his own life. He's been identified as Shane Tamura of Las Vegas. Authorities say he drove 4,000 kilometers from Las Vegas to New York City in the days leading up to the shooting. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says he had a note blaming the NFL for a brain injury he believed he suffered.
Mr. Tamura has a documented mental health history. His motives are still under investigation, and we are working to understand why he targeted this particular location.
The shooting came at the end of the workday when the area was still filled with workers.
I was in my office. Actually, my mom was the first person to text me about the active shooter. She was asking, was I okay? There's an active shooter like on Park, and then she texted me the address, and I was like, oh my God, that's like right next door to my building.
It's awful and devastating, and there frankly is nothing else to think but why couldn't this have been prevented? Why was this person allowed to get a gun? What kind of systems were in place that allowed this to happen in the heart of the East? You know, like it should never happen in the first place.
Closer to home, there was some wild police helicopter video that caught the driver of a vehicle that had sparks flying from its rims trying to flee police. A 20-year-old man has been charged in connection with the incident in the town of Georgina.
Here 2, Roger. Good for dangerous and flight from police.
New York Regional Police helicopter tracked the vehicle last Thursday, helping officers on the ground make the arrest. Investigators say a week earlier, the suspect was observed speeding, but when officers tried to pull him over, he sped away. When the same vehicle was spotted speeding on Thursday, a speed belt was used, but the suspect kept driving, at one point traveling on all 4 rims into the town of Aurora. The driver was eventually arrested. Dakota Drury of North Bay is facing numerous driving and weapons-related charges. There are some new numbers that indicate some progress in the battle against auto thefts.
Fewer cars were stolen in the first half of this year. CTV John Venevali Rao has the details.
Despite the improving numbers, on average nationwide, a vehicle is stolen every 10 minutes.
It's all a big shock, to be honest. I kind of feel violated.
Ryan Tostick of Milton, Ontario, is filling out insurance forms after his beloved 2004 Chevy Silverado was swiped from a repair shop just over a week ago. The thief was caught on surveillance cameras. Tostick says his truck had a new engine and says he'd never had anything stolen from him in his life.
Just, yeah, crazy to see what kind of value just is gone within minutes.
But compared to the same period in 2024, in the first half of this year, auto thefts were down 19% nationally, plunging almost 26% in Ontario, while Western and Atlantic Canada saw 9% declines.
I do caution that even though the numbers are still going down, they're still high, and it doesn't mean that we need to take our foot off the gas.
The report says better public awareness and collaborative efforts by governments and law enforcement agencies appear to be making a difference, noting during the pandemic, auto thefts rose when the supply chain for new cars was disrupted, peaking in the first half of 2023 at 34,000 and declining ever since. Still, experts note there's been a shift towards stolen vehicles being sent to chop shops.
What's old is new again. Chop shops are having a resurgence where they're stealing vehicles and selling it part by part, not only domestically but internationally.
According to the report, more stolen vehicles are being found. 56% were recovered in the first half of this year versus 53% last year.
Personally, I'd like to have the vehicle back. I'm not hopeful, but I'm trying to be hopeful.
And if you're wondering if insurance rates might come down because of fewer thefts, the Insurance Bureau of Canada says thefts still remain above historical levels, adding repair and vehicle replacement costs have also been on the rise. John Venevali Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
There are just 3 days left for Canada to reach a trade deal with the U.S. The deadline set by U.S. President Donald Trump is Friday.
Trump has threatened tariffs as high as 50% if no agreement is inked. CTV's Abigail Beeman has the details.
Canada's Prime Minister and the American President were both visiting islands and talking trade. Donald Trump in Scotland musing about baseline world tariffs.
I just want to be nice. I would say in the range of 15 to 20%.
The negotiations are at an intense phase. It's a complex negotiation.
While on Prince Edward Island, Mark Carney repeated in French that a deal with no tariffs is unlikely.
We're standing up for Canada, Canadian interests. Of course, the United States is looking out, the President's looking out for the interests of American workers. There is a landing zone that's possible, but we have to get there.
There appears to be a backing away from the tariff for tariff, elbows up sort of combative tone.
Former Foreign Affairs Minister Peter MacKay feels we may not get the kind of deal we want.
Donald Trump has really had his way with many countries, and they are coming to heel and rolling around like kittens on a couch.
While Ontario's premier still hopes Canada is treated differently.
A tariff on Canadians is a tax on Americans. Prices will go up.
It's not the kind of recession-inducing shock that 25% on literally everything
would have been.
This University of Calgary economist says a 15% baseline tariff on non-CUSMA compliant goods would still be a net negative for the Canadian economy. But it's important to focus on the bigger picture, what happens with CUSMA down the line.
That's a much more important potential shock to the economy than a 15% baseline with an exemption for trade agreement compliant exports.
Trump's trade deal deadline is Friday, with the Prime Minister saying Canada is still engaged in negotiations. Mark Carney stressing Canada is also already a big investor in the United States as we watch other countries sign deals that require major financial commitments. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
There are a couple of significant announcements coming this week that will affect the economy.
Tomorrow, the Bank of Canada will release its latest interest rate decision, and south of the border, the U.S. Federal Reserve will also set its interest rate. CTV's Colton Prale joins us now from Ottawa with more on this. Colton, all eyes will be on the Bank of Canada and the U.S. Fed tomorrow. How could the ongoing trade war impact their interest rate decisions?
Well, Nathan, it's created so much uncertainty in the business community, not just the economic impacts of tariffs, but the uncertainty as far as investment decisions go has put immense pressure on spending, and it's been a downward pressure on the economy. And so because of that uncertainty that exists, experts and economists on both sides of the border are expecting to see a staying firm when it comes to the bank's interest rate and when it comes to the Fed's decision as well. And that's in line with what we've seen in the past. If it does come to bear, it'll be the third consecutive decision that the Bank of Canada has decided to stay firm. It would be the sixth time in a row that the U.S. Fed is doing the same thing. Theirs hasn't moved since December. And really, it's twofold. You're seeing the economic pressure of this uncertainty, but also of the impacts of tariffs. In the United States, for example, that's driving inflation in recent months. And so even as there are tax cuts and more dollars coming into the U.S. Fed that's being invested into the country, the impact of tariffs and inflation is really putting downward pressure on the consumers, especially those who make the lowest amount of money. And so there are concerns about inflation rising as those tariff impacts are really felt in the second half of the year. Here in Canada, it's a similar story. There's uncertainty. It's mainly sectoral, where we're seeing the high impacts of tariffs. And even though the economy has been weakened a little bit, there's been some resilience. Job numbers that came out were strong. At the same time, inflation, while at 1.9% overall, core has been relatively high. It's been about 3%. And so you don't want to lower the rate too far and potentially increase inflation, even though the economic impacts from tariffs and the pressure that puts on our economy might require that in the future. And so there's a tightrope to walk. And what you're seeing really is, in both cases, central banks really just not trying to rock the boat while allowing respective federal governments to try to direct the nature and the path of the economy moving forward.
And Colton, what might investors be looking for from the two banks when they release their decisions?
When it comes to the Bank of Canada, the biggest thing is a forecast. What is it going to look like in the short, medium, long term? That's something that the Bank of Canada almost always includes in their decisions as to whether or not they're going to move the interest rate. But what we saw in the last round was actually, rather than one forecast, a number of different scenarios. If tariffs are at 10%, if tariffs are at 25%, what does that mean for the Canadian economy? The fact that even the Bank of Canada was uncertain about where things were going gives you an idea of how significant the lack of confidence is in the economy, the lack of certainty to be able to make large-scale investments. And that's what's hurting the Canadian economy on a broad scale, beyond just these sectoral impacts of high tariff levels in steel and aluminum and autos, etc. And so if the Bank of Canada can go back to providing that sort of singular forecast, perhaps that would signal a little bit more certainty in the direction that Canada is heading. It would also signal that perhaps Canada isn't facing this kind of worst-case tariff scenario that we've seen averted in most other areas of the world. When it comes to the United States, there's immense political pressure from the White House to lower that rate. Are we going to see that happen later on in the year? Obviously, a lower dollar is going to mean foreign investment shifts a little bit away from the United States. So that's the biggest thing that investors are going to be watching when it comes to that U.S. decision.
All right, CTV's Colton Prale in Ottawa. Thank you.
Anytime.
To Hamilton now, where police have identified the victim of a deadly shooting in Dundas Sunday afternoon. Investigators say 25-year-old Zachary Schumann was found with a gunshot wound in the Governor's Road and Ogilvie Street area around 5 p.m. Sunday. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police believe he was involved in an interaction with the driver of a blue Ford Edge at a nearby Metro location before the shooting.
We also believe that there was a female witness who was in the area
when the shooting occurred. She's described as having shoulder-length brown hair and wearing either orange or red shorts. We ask that she please come forward and speak with investigators.
Police are asking anyone with information or who may have security camera video of the incident to come forward or contact Crime Stoppers.
In York Region, a Markham doctor has been charged with sexual assault. 62-year-old Saber Abdel Maluka Abdel Malak is facing 2 counts of sexual assault. The charges are in connection with 2 alleged incidents at a medical clinic on Markham Road. Police say a patient reported being touched in a sexual manner during an appointment at the clinic on July 7th. The same patient also reported a similar incident in 2023, but stated they didn't come forward at the time because they thought it might have been part of a legitimate medical procedure. The accused has been practicing as a physician for more than 30 years, and police believe there may be more victims.
Sex assault under the criminal code is any non-consensual sexual contact. So the charges here reflect what the investigators believe happened from the statement provided by the victim. As you mentioned, right, 30 years he's been practicing, there is the potential that there would be other victims. Being in a position of trust like a doctor, it would be very confusing and difficult, I'm sure, for victims to come forward.
We have an update on a story we first brought you yesterday and a caution that the video could be upsetting to some. CTV News has obtained security camera video that appears to show a stabbing victim as he searched for help on St. Clair Avenue. The victim shows a man limping across the street while gripping his left side and leaving a trail of bloody footprints. He is then seen entering an auto body shop. He reemerges a few minutes later and collapses in the middle of the sidewalk. Police were called to the St. Clair and Runnymede Road area shortly before 3:30 yesterday morning, where the man was located with multiple stab wounds. He is still fighting for his life in hospital. A man in his 40s has been taken into custody.
The world's leading body on hunger is issuing an alert today, saying the worst-case scenario of famine is unfolding in the Gaza Strip. The IPC, a coalition of monitors backed by the UN, says is predicting widespread death unless immediate action is taken. The alert is short of a formal famine declaration. It says the conditions have worsened dramatically in recent months, particularly for children. The Israeli military began limited pauses in fighting to allow more supplies into the enclave this weekend after facing mounting international pressure.
Now to China, where at least 34 people have been killed by flooding triggered by days of heavy rain in China. Floodwaters washed away vehicles in Beijing's suburbs on Monday. Some areas have received more than 540 millimeters of rain. The city has issued its highest level flood alert in some areas. Locals have been teaming up with firefighters to bring trapped residents to safety.
And over 2,000 firefighters are battling 3 wildfires throughout Portugal. The country has already been on red alert for a few weeks because of the hot weather and droughts. Some areas of northern Portugal, where the largest fires are raging, have already been evacuated. Dozens of planes have also been water bombing the area to help put out the 3 big wildfires. Well, 70 kids are getting tennis lessons today from one of the best.
World doubles #1 Marcelo Arévalo is on the court with the kids, and that is where we find CTV's Jessica Smith. Jess, tell us what's going on there.
Obviously, it's another really hot day, but perfect for tennis. And as you mentioned, about 70 kids getting the chance to play with a pro. Now, it is really cool. We have tennis pro Marcelo Arévalo. He's also the 2024 Grand Slam Open doubles champion, and he's hitting the hard court today with the kids. They're about between 6 and 13 years old, giving them, you know, a bit of a lesson between developments at this clinic here at Rosalie tennis court. The clinic was organized in collaboration with the city of Brampton and Premier Racket Club, and the goal is to help foster community engagement and create access to the sport with free public availability to play. Arévalo is waiting to see if he's playing on the next round in the National Bank Open on Thursday, but for now he's giving all his best tips and tricks to the kids to help them get to the next level.
Well, of course, he gave me a lot of tips, which were really helpful. The moment I, got them into my brain, I was like, okay, perfect. I know how to hit the shot now.
If I can add something to them, if I can teach them a little bit of all my experience through these whole years and just give back a little bit to them, like many people did to me when I needed that help, I'm happy to do it,
Arévalo says he's looking forward to spending the afternoon with the kids and giving them all the tips and tricks that he can. Reporting live, I'm Jessica Smith. I'll send things back inside to Lindsay.
Jessica, and as we know, this is one of those days where it's hot, and if you're going to be exercising or working outside, you want to make sure you're taking regular breaks and have plenty of water on hand. The sun also strong today. We're at a 9 on the UV index, even though we do have a little bit of cloud drifting in compared to yesterday. Later this afternoon, 31 degrees is going to feel like 37. We have a slight chance of a passing shower or thunderstorm later today. But look at this. Right now, our models are indicating that we could get some wet weather overnight and into Thursday morning. We're going to take you through the 7-day forecast. A cool down comes Thursday as well. Plus, a look ahead to the long weekend after the break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
All right, to the forecast. It's another warm one, another heat alert. I guess we're kind of getting used to it. You should know all the things that you should do by now.
You know, my kids came in from soccer last night and they were absolutely drenched in sweat, and it didn't even bother them. I think the kids just love the fact that it's a summer's night, it's hot out, they can run around and play. Lots of water, though.
Oh, these are the core summer memories, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
These beautiful, hot, beautiful days. I know it's not beautiful for everyone, but many consider this weather beautiful. We've had glorious sunshine through a good portion of the week already. A little more cloud today. A reminder, of course, to take it easy in conditions like this. I know my kids get a little carried away in the heat, and then we have to find a cool place to go in order for everyone to settle back down. And it's another day for that tomorrow, too, but then a change comes for the end of the week. Weather is brought to you by the Presler Law Firm. Injury lawyers, you don't pay unless they win. I want to talk about the sunrise this morning. Check this out. Gorgeous shot of our city skyline with that orange-colored hue in the background. It is worth mentioning that the sun is now rising in Toronto at about 6:04 a.m. and it's going to set this evening at about 8:45. So as much as we hate to admit it, the days are getting a little shorter. We've been talking a little bit too about drifting wildfire smoke and haze that could be impacting us. Just a heads up as we make our way through the next couple of days here that continues to be a little bit of a concern. Some improvement is expected by the end of the work week. There's our air quality health index for today. We're currently at low risk, but by tonight we are upgraded to moderate risk, about a 5, and then tomorrow around 4 on the scale. There's the scale there. And here's a look at, again, the forecast numbers for a little later today. So in addition to all the heat and humidity, just be mindful of air quality and how that may impact you as well. Right now, it is 29 degrees at Pearson Airport. It feels like 35. We're forecasting a high of 31 today, feeling like 37, but it's going to be another feeling like 40 day today in places like Hamilton and Niagara Falls. Yesterday, we made it to a high of 33.4, not quite record territory, but close to it. Today's record to beat is 35.6. Don't think that's going to happen, but again, another warm one. And then tonight, remaining at about 20 for the low, warmer than average. Tomorrow's high, again, 31 degrees, perhaps a little less humid. And we're going to start to introduce the potential for some passing showers or maybe even thunderstorms. Not much to show you right now on the satellite and radar. There is a disturbance that I'm now keeping an eye on that could impact us overnight into Thursday as well. Last night it was looking as though the system would stay to our south, but let me show you how it's looking now. So there's early Thursday morning. This would be some welcomed rain, I think, for many. Lawns and gardens certainly need it. It's going to clear out as the day goes on Thursday. Bright skies by the evening, and then it's a run of sun as we make our way Friday into the long weekend. Look at the temperature difference too. 24 degrees Thursday, suddenly below seasonal. Heat is going to start to build back in again by about Sunday, Monday. That's the forecast for now. Natalie, I'll send it over to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Well, it has been 25 years since a herd of moose popped up all over Toronto. Art installations that encouraged residents to get out and explore the city while raising millions for charity. Toronto artist Kelly Borgers was commissioned to paint 3 of the colorful moose and joins us now. Kelly, take us back to the Moose in the City campaign and your role in the project.
Okay, so I did 3 moose, and it was just it was a fantastic opportunity for artists and for the community. It brought the city of Toronto together. Everybody was super happy. You couldn't pass a moose without smiling. I did Florence Moosingale, which is actually still out there now. She's an iconic landmark in Toronto. She's down near Bayview and Moore Avenue. And I did a park moose and driving moose Daisy.
Wow. And how was this project significant or memorable to you as an artist?
I think as an artist, it brought the whole arts community alive. We had a great opportunity to design our moose, and then the different mooses got selected based on our art. So it was a really nice chance to expose our work as an artist and sort of, you know, launch our work. And it was artists of all kinds, of all different experienced artists, emerging artists, so it was great for that.
And do you think, Kelly, that this is the kind of street art event that could be repeated here in Toronto?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think it would be fantastic to do something like that in the city. I mean, it brought the whole city together. People would go out and do a moose hunt. Oh, that's my moose right there. They would go out and they would do a moose hunt, and they would drive around the city to try to spot the moose. We even had a moose herd when all the moose came out. We met down in Yorkville and we pushed our moose down the street, and it was just it was festive. It was happy, it was festive, and it didn't matter who you were. It was just a fun time.
All right, Kelly Borgers, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Still to come, the story about a photographer's online order for an expensive camera lens has been the focus for many people today. CTV's Pat Foran will have the details.
Well, many online shoppers fill their virtual carts, check out with the click of a button, and receive their goods at the door without any issue.
But if you do buy something that's been tampered with, it can be difficult to try to get your money back. CTV's Pat Foran has that story.
I was completely shocked. I didn't know what to do.
Victoria Schell of Maple says her hobby is photography, and she recently wanted to upgrade to a more advanced camera lens. She found one online at Canon Canada's website. The lens was part of a damaged box sale and was selling for just over $2,500. When the shipment arrived, she was shocked when she opened it up.
The box was supposed to contain a Canon EF 24-70mm lens, and instead there was a box of Bostitch staples.
Schell contacted Canon to say what happened and sent them photos of what she received.
The lens was inspected in the facility, so by the time it left the facility, everything was intact.
Schell says while the outside box was sealed, the box for the camera lens had been opened.
There is no safety seal.
The box of staples was the same weight as what the camera lens would be. Following an investigation, Schell was told she would not be getting a refund.
I'm completely heartbroken. I'm really upset.
2 years ago, we did a similar story with the Madkin family of Brampton. They ordered a laptop and received 2 books instead.
Did you need this book?
I don't need that.
Did you need 2 of them?
No, I don't need either. So someone have opened the box and they put the books with the same weight. Looks like a MacBook.
With CTV's help, the family got a refund. CTV News also reached out to Canon Canada, and a spokesperson said the package did match the weight that would be expected for the lens model purchased. However, it appears the package may have been tampered with after departing our facility. We are currently in the process of issuing a refund to the customer for the cost of the lens. That was great news for Schell. She has now received her refund and plans to buy a new lens in person at a camera store.
Thank you so much, CTV News. Thank you so much, Pat Foran. Thank you guys for taking my case. I truly appreciate it. You guys are amazing.
All right, that was CTV's Pat Foran. Now to Ottawa, where dozens of tenants may be facing a mass eviction.
They could be forced to leave under a court order because of mold in their buildings. CTV's Caitlin Wilson has the story.
Yasir Hosseini says he's been living with mold for months. It's behind the baseboards, in the bathroom, and even the bedroom.
I send them like photographic evidence of mold like in a specific spot in my apartment, but they say they cannot do anything right now.
In May, his unit was flagged as one of 57 affected by mold. Air quality tests later found elevated spore levels in some of those units and in common areas like the gym. At the time, the property management company told residents it was taking steps to fix the problem.
I was not contacted. And then what happened is that on July 23rd, we just received like a notice about a mass eviction happening.
Dozens of tenants, many of them international students, living at this apartment building in Little Italy are now being told they'll likely have to vacate by the end of August.
For us, it's a 39-day notice period, right? And it's incredibly hard to find a decent place at a similar price at such short notice.
The building has been under court-ordered receivership since February after Ashcroft Homes Group ran into financial trouble. Now a buyer wants vacant possession by September 1st so they can remove the mold, a condition of the sale.
It did come as a shock to us because we got the impression that it was a relatively small issue that didn't require us to leave the building, vacate the building completely.
According to this letter sent last week to tenants, pending a court hearing Thursday, those who don't end their leases early could be removed by the sheriff, saying given the health risks associated with this work, no tenant can be permitted to remain at the property.
It is a rent control building, so they cannot increase more than 2.5%. For me personally, I would think that it is a case of re-eviction.
The court is also being asked to approve lease termination agreements, offering tenants 2 months' rent and the option to take furniture from their furnished units, but they'll have to give up the right to file future complaints. In a statement, the property manager says it recognizes this is a time of uncertainty for tenants and is committed to supporting them through the process, but declined further comment due to ongoing legal proceedings. Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
It was a rough outing for the Blue Jays as they opened a series in Baltimore last night against the Orioles.
Chris Bass and Tony Mansolino got 4 to third out of Zach Eflin, and now Laureano demolishes one to left field.
The Jays struggled in this one, giving up 10 runs in the first 5 innings, going on to lose 11-4. And there was a concerning moment right there for the Jays in the 9th inning as George Springer was hit in the head by a fastball. He stayed on the ground for several minutes before slowly getting up and walking off the field. Jays manager John Schneider told reporters Springer's being evaluated, but he's doing all right. The two teams meet again tomorrow, make that today, in a doubleheader.
Still to come this hour, let's go to the X for work. A record number of job seekers apply for positions at this year's CNE. We'll find out why after the break.
Get Toronto's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Canada Post workers have till Friday at 5 p.m. to vote on the Crown Corporation's final offer.
The vote comes after the federal government asked the Canada Industrial Relations Board to step in after more than a year and a half of failed negotiations. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers represents about 55,000 Canada Post employees. It is urging them to reject the deal. Ian Lee, associate professor with the Sprott School of Management, expects union members to vote against the offer and says the federal government may be forced to restructure Canada Post.
The Cup W demand, they said publicly, if it's turned down, we'll demand a return to the bargaining table. But that's already been tried and failed. That's why there was a strike in December. That's why the industrial relations arbitrator was appointed. And so they're at a stalemate now where going back to the bargaining table will change or produce absolutely nothing because it's already failed 3 times in the last 5 or 6 months.
Canada Post's offer includes wage hikes of about 13% over 4 years and plans to roll out a fleet of part-time workers.
The Canadian National Exhibition is just over 2 weeks away, and the race is on to hire thousands of staff for the end of summer event. And there's been a record number of applications in advance of a job fair that's going to be happening tomorrow. Joining us now is CNE CEO Mark Holland. Mark, thanks for joining us. What do you make of the record number of applications?
Yeah, 54,000, Nathan. I mean, that's a huge number. And I think it speaks to the fact that the CNE is such an exciting, dynamic place to work. I also think that there's right now a real need for young people to have that first job experience. The CNE, we have already hired about 1,000. We've got about 5,000 folks yet to fill with our partners. And these are jobs that are really unique. They give young people really important skills that are going to set them up in life. So we're excited to have that job fair tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure many young people are excited as well. What can they expect at the job fair tomorrow?
Well, so tomorrow it's open to anybody. We've asked folks if they'd like to register, they can, or they can just show up at the Enercan Center in Toronto. And they're going to be able to talk to many of our different partners working in all aspects of the fair. So there's a chance to be involved in, you're seeing the midway games, in the operations of the various elements of the fair, in the food. So there's lots of exciting job opportunities for folks.
And what types of jobs will be available?
Well, as I say, so it'll be working the concessions, working the games at the midway. It'll be, helping with traffic, move folks around, helping with all of the various vendors that are there, some of the exhibits that we have. So there's 24 different partners that'll be with us there tomorrow. We're going to be there, obviously, as well, so folks can explore all that is possible.
Any advice to maybe someone who's looking for their very first job?
Well, I think the first thing is to demonstrate that you're committed. This is the summer. As a young person, it's tough to give up these last 3 weeks of summer. I know all of us are kind of looking at the end of summer, wanting to squeeze out every minute, but really demonstrating that commitment and the initiative to really show what you've got and demonstrate that you have the enthusiasm, energy to really participate in something that's super fun. The CNE is a place that's really magical. It's a place of joy. So having that spirit when you apply for the job, showing that you're going to help make the fair fun and ensure that everybody has a good time.
Yeah, good advice. CNE CEO Mark Holland, thanks for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
Ontario Labour Minister David Piccini announced today that the province is opening up applications for a new round of funding to train workers.
We're building a world-class workforce that will withstand any economic challenge that comes our way. And the foundation of this is the relationship we have with training delivery leaders like the ones in this room and the workers they support. Today, we have some exciting projects to highlight from Round 5 of our Skills Development Fund. We're announcing over $20 million through this round to train 4,825 workers and job seekers through 7 priorities for careers in the skilled trades: hospitality, artificial intelligence, and healthcare.
That is the 6th iteration of the Skills Development Fund from the Ford government. Piccini says the money can be used for innovative projects in healthcare, manufacturing, construction, and the automotive sector.
A new Angus Reid poll finds 60% of Canadians prefer to work from home. That's compared to just 9% of people who prefer to be on site full time. Among those who've been asked to return to the office after working from home, 72% say they followed the request. Meanwhile, 23% say they often spend fewer days than required in the office, while 5% quit. Just 30% of people who work from home currently say they would return to the office without any complications if asked by their employer.
The Weeknd took the stage at the Rogers Centre last night for the second of 4 shows in Toronto. The Grammy and Juno Award-winning Scarborough singer is back home as part of his After Hours Till Dawn tour. On Saturday, the Weeknd was awarded the key to the city. To mark the occasion, he announced he would be donating to the Boys and Girls Club of West Scarborough and his former high school, Birchmount Park Collegiate, to help create safe spaces for youth.
Members of a popular Canadian band took to the stage in an iconic Toronto neighborhood yesterday for a pop-up concert.
Everything I've done, you are the one.
Blue Rodeo celebrating their 40th anniversary and yesterday performed a free show in the Distillery District. The band was formed in Toronto in 1984. It has since released 16 studio albums and performed countless shows with this unique blend of blues, rock, and country.
Reason that Blue Rodeo has lasted so long is because of the people. It's because the people are loyal to us. I mean, we work hard to do good shows and to go where everybody lives, but it's because everybody, the audiences in Canada are loyal, so we're lucky.
Blue Rodeo kicks off its 40th anniversary Lost Together tour in Calgary in October. The band will play 26 shows before wrapping up at Massey Hall in January. Twisted Metal is about to return to the small screen for the second season. Recently, Andrea Kaye sat down with one of the stars of the TV show, Stephanie Beatrice. The accomplished actress is up for any professional challenge.
Yeah, babe, the fate of the family is gonna come down to you.
Stephanie Beatrice is an actor who's used her voice in hits like the Oscar-winning animated film Encanto, where she was the lead Mirabelle.
It wasn't so bad. Nothing got in.
Ah, something got in. I'm General Mayhem. Bring me your fiercest leader.
In the Lego movie, General Mayhem and Sweet Mayhem.
Something I'd like to say. I'm a pretty private person, so this is kind of hard for me, but here we go. I'm bisexual. All right. I will now field 1 minute and 0 seconds of questions pertaining to this. Go.
But fans first got to know her as the outspoken detective Rosa Diaz on television's long-running comedy, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. There is a theme here, strong female characters.
Prepare for battle in 10, 9.
Now she's back on the small screen for the second season of the Paramount Plus TV show, Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal is a post-apocalyptic world.
She plays Quiet.
When we meet Quiet, she's kind of an outlaw. She and her brother escaped from a really bad situation. Sadly, her brother ends up dead really early on, and Quiet's whole story for the first season is one of revenge.
Welcome to Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal is a high-octane, violent action comedy, and the mother of one has literally thrown herself into the role.
Your girlfriend was waking up at 4 a.m. to try to get her Peloton workout in so she didn't fall apart, okay? They're not easy. That show is not an easy show, and I hope it shows. I hope it shows in that, these characters are having a rough time of it. I mean, this is rough. It is surviving. They are trying to survive.
As for the cars, which play a big role in the series,
this is a wild time to be alive, and sometimes you just want to watch something that's really, really fun. And this show's fun.
You can watch season 1 now. Season 2 of Twisted Metal debuts on July 31st. Andrea Kaye, CTV News.
Coming up, a new children's book honors the legacy of Terry Fox for a new generation.
Well, this year marks the 45th anniversary of the Terry Fox Marathon of Hope.
As part of the year-long celebration, a new children's book is being released sharing Terry Fox's story with the next generation.
A is for adventure. Terry Fox had an older brother, younger brother, and little sister. It was always an adventure when they played together. B is for basketball. Terry loved all kinds of sports, especially basketball. He worked hard to be a good player.
Author Janice Diaz read her book, T is for Terry, an ABC of Courage, aloud to a group of parents and kids at the Scarborough Civic Center yesterday afternoon. The book chronicles Terry Fox's life from his childhood through to his Marathon of Hope in 1980.
Terry is such a Canadian icon, and he represents the best of what it means to be Canadian. Hope, optimism, courage, selflessness, helping others, and believing in something bigger than yourself. And so all of those qualities, all of those characteristics that Terry had that still inspire Canadians today, I think they're more important now than ever. And this book really helps to distill those messages in a really relatable way that can be understood easily by young children and early readers.
The book was created in partnership with Fox's family, and royalties will be donated directly to the Terry Fox Foundation. Since its inception, the foundation has raised more than $900 million for cancer research. Great job. All right, let's get back to the forecast. And one of the great things about summer in the city? Is there so many great things to do, so many concerts? Coldplay was here a few weeks ago, the Weeknd here last night, and you were lucky enough to attend. How was the show?
That's right. It was an incredible show, and the coolest part, for me at least, was that the dome was open. And it was remarkable how hot it still was out at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Just a beautiful summer's night, though. You could see the stars, the city lights. There were pyrotechnics. It was a very, very fascinating.
Is that one of the songs, City Lights? I think it is.
It could be. That's the next release.
Very cool. To your point, though, almost too hot to have the dome open. I think one of the Jays games this year had the dome closed because it was too hot and they needed to get the AC going. So, yeah, that's where we are. We're in peak summer right now. We remain under a heat warning, and this will be in place for today, for tomorrow, and then will likely come to an end for Wednesday evening. Overnight tonight, we're still at about 20 degrees for the low, humidex 27. We are anticipating some clear skies, but tomorrow we're going to introduce the possibility of scattered, isolated showers, not an all-day event, but a possibility in the afternoon. Slight risk of a thunderstorm as well, and then also watching a disturbance that could bring us some rain into Thursday morning. We'll see if that track starts to change. Look at next weekend, though. Plenty of sunshine, comfortable temperatures, and low humidity. Nathan and Natalie.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. And that is CTV News at noon. Remember, you can get Toronto's breaking news all day long on CP24 and at ctvnewstoronto.ca.
For Lindsay Morrison and all of us here at CTV News, thank you for watching. I'm Natalie Johnson.
And I'm Nathan Downer. Be sure to join us later for CTV News at 5 and 6.